times are upon us, and we need to know what's happening. Knowing the truth is key to survival. There are lots of news events going on in the world that have certain significance to end-time happenings. Listen, as men and women gather to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy on the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast Wednesdays and run live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB. Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radio Land. A day of nothing but classic radio shows, back-to-back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radio Land.
We all run a busy schedule, and maybe we don't have time to catch the Gary Russell program. Well, here's the solution. The best of the Gary Russell program, highlighting the most memorable parts of recent shows. Each podcast I will play clips of previous shows and talk about them. Watch for podcast uploads during the GJRB's podcast weekend on GJRB's public site on Spreaker. Reflecting on the past memories of past shows. The best of the Gary Russell program on GJRB.
Suicide's increasing among the youth, and many of them playing suicide games. This has to stop. Parents, watch your kids, and if you feel there's something going on and they are considering suicide, please talk to them, help them. And if it seems hopeless, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. They can help. It's free and confidential. Your call will be answered by a trained counselor at a local crisis center. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can help.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I did the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The weird, the strange, the bizarre. Way out fun, way out there. Another show coming soon on GJRB Online.
Okay, we're back. On the Gary J Sports page on GJRB Online on Spreaker across America. Excuse me, because sometimes I have this little thing comes in my throat trying to stop me from reading or something. You know, it does once in a while. But here I am, back on the air, back on Sports page on GJRB Online here on Spreaker across America. And I'm glad you could be with me, and glad you could be part of the show. I was glad to be doing this show and have a lot of fun doing it. So welcome aboard. Got a lot of stuff to discuss, so stay with me, including some of the football training camps and all that good stuff on that. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit. And, of course, I'll give you the scores when I get them, but not every 10 minutes. We only do scores every 10 minutes if there are more than two. There's a rule here. You know, they have rules in sports. They have rules here on the radio. And this is one of the rules, folks. This is one of the golden rules. If there is only two games being played while we're on the air live, like there is now, two games getting played in the MLB. Okay, the Toronto, the only two games being played in the MLB, Tampa Bay against New York and Los Angeles against Toronto. There's only two games being played right now. Okay, if there's no games action going on in those games, if it's a slow game or there's not much going on in the game, for any reason whatsoever, we will not do a score update. Okay, so scores every 10 minutes only if there's more than more than two games being played while we're on the air live, you know, in real time. Otherwise, that's it. If there's more than two games going on in real time while we're on live, I'll give you scores. every 10 minutes. But if there's only maybe 2 games being played right now, I'll give you the score. Maybe every half hour to every 20 minutes to a half hour. Okay, depending on when something happens in the game. Okay, so that's so that it would be a lot easier anyway, and it makes it easier for me if I don't, do that. So that is the new rule on Sports Page. Okay, if all the games are playing at night and I usually do when I do the prep for this program, is I usually see what games are being played the day before broadcast, and on a Friday night. I usually check and see what games are going to be played while I'm on the air during my time shift between 12 and 3. Okay? If there's maybe 2 games, and that's all like today, like I did before, we're all going to do maybe a half hour to 20 minutes for a score. If there is more than 2, like there's 5, maybe 6, they will do a score update every 10 minutes. So that's how that's going to go from now on, okay? All right, tell you what, right now we're going to do is, let's see, I'm going to do right now is let's talk a little bit about the NFL. Let's do that bit with the NFL. Let's see here. We'll go down the page a little bit. There we go. First, I'll talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. You gotta see, this is pretty cool. Matter of fact, like I said before, that's why I do the Gary Wrestling Program video show. As a matter of fact, I decided on a brand new name for that show, for our show on YouTube, and I'll talk about that on the Gary Wrestling Program Tuesday. I'm going to be renaming that. Instead of the Gary Wrestling Program on YouTube, it's going to be called the Gary Wrestling Show. And I think that's a real good name for it. The Gary Wrestling Video Show. And that's where I show videos of things that I've talked about on the radio. And I'll show you the pictures of it. And I'll save this one and show you that one on the next video version of the Gary Wrestling Program, that Rolls Royce. That's pretty cool. I loved it. But anyway, they went to Latrobe. The Pittsburgh Steelers reported to Latrobe on the 27th, which was Thursday. They reported to St. Vincent College in Latrobe, and Steeler fans were treated to seeing and waiting for their teams to be reported to this training camp there. And they're interested in the spectacle. They see how the players arrive. Some of the players arrived very interestingly.
Here's Pittsburgh Steelers team has arrived for the start.
I'm gonna show you some. I'm gonna play you some of that here in a minute. But, the Steelers arriving Thursday afternoon. First open practice for fans is just a day away, so I think they are doing
training
today.
Yeah, the players started rolling into St.
So let's check that out right now, and I'll show you some of the Steelers coming in, and one of them arrived in a fire truck. Yeah. Yeah, he got a commercial license. He's done it before. And one of these Steelers came in on a fire truck. James Harrison. Yeah, he came in on a fire truck. This is pretty cool. Love it. He drove buses for Penn State. Had a real job. Antonio Brown. Yeah, had a real job. So he came in on a fire truck. Yeah, James Harrison. Yeah, and then check this out. Okay, let me go further on here. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can. There's some. Okay, it's not going to play. Okay. It's not going to Okay, for some reason it's not playing. I have to keep on hitting the buttons in order to run for about 2 seconds. But there he came in. Anyway, he came in on a fire truck, and here's the other one. Antonio Brown came in a Rolls Royce, a 1931 Phantom Rolls Royce. Yeah, pretty wild. I thought that was pretty cool. a Rolls Royce, a 1931 Rolls Royce with a chauffeur. Came in on a that's great. And Ryan Shazier, he came in a Porsche. So some of the guys who come in grand style for whatever sake, just wow, that's what they did. So we'll talk more about that, and we'll see me play some of the comments from some of the players too coming up. Meanwhile, though, it's time to do another weather on the fives. So let's get ready for that. Time to do another weather on the fives. Take a look at some temperatures across this great land of ours. And let's see what's going on across America, and see what the temperatures are in America right now here on GJRB Online. We're going to do that as soon as this thing decides it wants to work. Okay, here we go. Okay, Cocoa, Oregon. You guys are 70 degrees right now. Cocoa, Oregon. Chester, Maryland, 71 degrees. It's raining in Miami, Florida right now, 80 degrees. 93 in Phoenix, Arizona, 93, so they're not as hot as they were. 85 degrees in Albuquerque, New Mexico. 80 degrees in Los Angeles, California. Ambridge, PA, back home, 74, that's what it is here. 80 degrees in Mankato, Minnesota. Okay. So there's some of the temperatures nationwide. In Madison, Wisconsin, you guys are at 74, 76 in Lake Tahoe, California at this time. Some of the here in the low area here in Clinton, the winds are east-northeast at 9 miles per hour. Relative humidity 53%. Your dew point 58. Barometric pressure 30.13 inches and dropping, and your visibility is at 10. Right now we are having partly sunny skies, a high of 78 predicted for today. No precipitation. Tonight we are going to get a 10% chance of precip with a low of 54, 81 degrees for tomorrow's high, and sunshine 58 Sunday night. 10% chance of precipitation, 10% chance on Monday under partly cloudy skies. 82 predicted high. And that is weather on the fives. We'll take a look at temperatures in your neck of the woods coming up in the next half hour of Sports Page here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker across America. I'm Gary J. Russin. Thanks for listening to Sports Page.
For you not know what hour the Son of God will return. Prophecy, New World Order, terrorism, economic collapse, wars, pandemics, Israel. When they say peace, then cometh sudden destruction, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, signs in the heavens. Keep up with world news and events you hear on GJRB's News on the Hour. Go to End Time Headlines at www.endtimeheadlines.org. With a lot of chaos happening, keep in touch with End Time Headlines and GJRB. It was the year World War II ended, and the troops came home, and the music was fabulous, with big hits from Perry Como, Judy Garland, and the Andrews Sisters. The year was 1945. Listen to the year in music on the next Swing Time. I'm Gary Russin, and I'll be featuring the biggest hits from that year, along with trivial information about the prices of items such as groceries, the news events, the culture of 1945. On the next Swing Time. Published on the GJRB Spreaker Public site Friday, July 28th at 8 p.m. Central.
On the next Gary Russin program, we'll talk about the healthcare repeal. It was voted down 49 to 51. So now what? What about all this drama at the White House? This is how we run our country? And transgenders, they've been barred from the military. I bet Klinger would be happy if this happened during the Korean War. We'll talk about that on the Gary Russin program, Tuesday, 2 o'clock Central on GJRB.
end times are upon us, and we need to know what's happening. Knowing the truth is key to survival. There are lots of news events going on in the world that have certain significance to end time happenings. Listen, as men and women gather to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy on the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast Wednesdays and run live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB.
From America's heartland, this is GJRB, Clinton, Iowa.
A GJRB Sports Page Update starts now.
Watch.
Mm.
You not know. 1 hour. Sun.
Sorry about that, folks, but we just did that sports page with the mic off, so we need to do it again anyway. Why did I do that? It's just every once in a while I get this stupid mistake where I forget to turn the microphone on the Spreaker public site, on the Spreaker mixer. I always do that all the time for some reason. Every once in a while I'm doing real good, and all of a sudden I look down and my microphone's off, and I'm not broadcasting anything but dead air. Just the opening to the sports page update, and that was all. I just don't know why I do that. Here we go again. So let's see what's going to happen. Page update starts now. Actually, I'm looking for that story that I just read there, and so far I've been not able to find it. It just like disappeared with a couple of other headlines. So I will find that story a little later on, but let's do this sports page update again because of my stupidity. Major League Baseball plans to start a 2019-2020 season in Asia and play regular games there, and as well as England. For both years, a collective bargaining agreement was reached in November to finalize and sent to the clubs. It will contain the schedule for international play through 2021, along with how much money these players will get paid. Wow. How about that? And recent comments by Ravens coach John Harbaugh regarding the potential signing of Colin Kaepernick has met by a lot of trial. Apparently made a lead. Mike Silver, NFL media reports, as the Ravens say they heard numerous fans regarding Kaepernick's last couple of days as very opposed. Hardly surprised given that the Giants co-owner John Myra already had provided anti-Kaepernick fans with a blueprint for scouting down the potential for Kaepernick signing. So they're trying to get rid of him. Okay, we'll talk about that coming up. And I don't know your opinion on that. Well, we'll be talking about that throughout the afternoon. Once again, I am sorry about that. I don't know what happened to me. I just, for some reason, forgot to turn my microphone on in that last sports update. So, bear with me. Every once in a while, I'm going to make a dumb mistake like that. That's what happens. So I will, I'll have that story later on for you here too. Okay, as well as the training camp and all that stuff. So we're going to do that. Meanwhile, I'm going to, let's see, where are you? The scores. Okay, here we go. Shane Ray, here we go, the Broncos. Here we go. After DeMiro Ware's retirement, all eyes are now turned to Shane Ray as the replacement opposite superstar Von Miller, and plans for a temporary holdout because Ray tore a ligament in his wrist, and he'll have to have surgery. NFL's Network's report reports on this story.
Well, this is a pretty significant injury, Dan, that actually happened yesterday in practice when Shane Ray was trying to take on a block. He hit his wrist funny, his left wrist. It ended up tearing a ligament, so he's going to have surgery tomorrow morning. Out about 6 to 8 weeks, but the hope is if you just do the timeline and talk to people involved in this situation, Dan, that he's back at least by week 1 or maybe week 2. So this is a tough blow. A player that is on the rise for the Denver Broncos. They expect big things from him this year, but maybe he just misses 1 game, maybe 2 at the most.
Okay, that is NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reporting on that story. And so it looks as though he might be back before the, at least as in the second week of the NFL season. So that's a good thing, right? All right, tell you what we're going to do right now. We're going to continue the sports page. I'm Gary J. Russin, and we're doing sports page on GJRB Online.
Watch. Pray. For you not know what hour the Son of God will return. Prophecy, New World Order, terrorism, economic collapse, wars, pandemics, Israel. When they say peace, then cometh sudden destruction. Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, signs in the heavens. Keep up with world news and events you hear on GJRB's News on the Hour. Go to End Time Headlines at www.endtimeheadlines.org. With a lot of chaos happening, keep in touch with End Time Headlines and GJRB.
Well, one of my all-time favorite DJs in Pittsburgh, his name is Jack Bogan. He used to always say, "Can I start over?" So, I said, if I'm not going to have dead air during my sportscast in the first hour because I forgot to turn my microphone on, maybe it's time to turn it on again and start over. Anyway, welcome back to Gary J's Sports Page on GJRB Online on Spreaker, and I'm glad you could be aboard with me today. We got a great sports show anyhow, and we'll have some of this hour's sports headlines coming up, and see what's going on in the world of sports coming up this hour on Sports Page. Let's see here. As soon as it goes to the top. Hall of Fame Lou Brock announces he is cancer-free. MLB is planning to play regular games. We found that out. There's an updated story, some new ones. Why Jeff Bagwell had to write an extra long for Hall of Fame call. And the Mets make a surprising addition to trade for the Marlins for A.J. Ramos. And Diamondbacks pitcher Bobby Ray carted off after a line drive. He got hit in the head pretty bad with a line drive. So we're going to follow that story coming up. All coming up in the next half hour of Sports Page on GJRB Online. Drop me a line if you want to hear. I'd love to hear from you. Do news headlines, sports headlines, and talk. But I will stop the sports headlines. I will stop the sporting news. If you want to talk to me, we'd love to hear from you. Area code 563-613-4260, or you can call me that way, or you can contact me on my GJRB Spreaker chat room to be in real time. And we can talk sports that way too, and a whole lot of other places we can talk sports. And I'll read your comment on the air and reply on the air. Okay? And also, if you follow me on Facebook, we're going to get on there in just a little bit for our scroll through social media coming up in this next half hour, and talk about a lot of things. And we'll get into some more stuff in sports here on GJRB Online, and all our great sports stories coming from Yahoo Sports, brought to you by Yahoo Sports. You want to get in touch with what's going on in the world of sports? Yahoo's the place. Yahoo Sports. And that's where we get a lot of our sports news. Yahoo and ESPN are some of my great sources for sports here on Sports Page. Okay? Alrighty. I'll tell you what, right now we're going to do is do an update on those scores. I think we ought to do that while we got the chance. So I'm going to go ahead and go back into my scores and see if there's anything going on in sports. So it's time for see what's going on, see what's happening in the two games going on live right now. Top of the fourth inning, Tampa Bay is over New York Yankees. They're leading the Yankees right now in the top of the fourth inning by a score of 2-1. And the Los Angeles Angels are losing now to Toronto by a score of 1-0. Toronto ahead 1-0. And in Tampa Bay, let's see what's going on, see what caused some of those scores. In Tampa Bay, Peter Borgos homered into deep left center to give the Tampa Bay the lead over the Rangers. Tampa Bay lead over the Yankees, rather. So Tampa Bay ahead of the Yankees 1-0. Before Gary Sanchez scored over Didi Gregorius hit sacrifice fly in the center. That's what caused the 1-1 score there. And 2-1, Lucas Duda hit sacrifice fly in the center to Peter Borgos, scoring Steven Souza Jr. to third, giving Tampa Bay that 2-1 lead. So that's how it's going on there, okay? All right, and the other game we're following is let's see, the Los Angeles Angels and the Toronto Blue Jays. They are in the top of the fifth inning right now, and Steve Pearce lined out to right to Josh Donaldson to third. Donaldson scored. Justin Smock to third, and Adrian Simmons in a throwing error. So that is the 1-0 Toronto over the Angels right now. And we'll keep in touch with those scores throughout the afternoon on Gary J's Sports Page. Here on GJRB Online, this is our sports talk show, and we do it every other Saturday, except for the third Saturday of the month. So that means that we'll be on the air this week, but we will not be on the air at all next week. As a matter of fact, I got a birthday party to go to next week, so I will not be on the air at all. I'll be taking that day off. That'll be the 5th, but the following Saturday, which is following Saturday, which will be August 12th, we're going to be doing jazz that day. So that's another one too. If we're doing it, that falls on a jazz weekend, which is this one is. We're going to be doing the best of jazz Saturday afternoon for a couple hours. So that'll be noon to 2 o'clock on the 12th. And then on that'll be the first week. The second week is the 19th. The third week is the 26th, according to how we start our weeks. We start our weeks always full week August starts on a Tuesday. The first full week is the 7th through the 12th. The second full week is 14th through the 19th. The third full week will be the 21st to the 26th. And so Saturday, the 26th, we'll do another sports page, but we're going to do another sports page. I'm thinking about either the 19th or the 26th will be our next sports page. Okay, 19th or the 26th, either one of those 2 weeks. We'll do a sports page. I might take that 19th off. I don't know yet. I'll look at the 19th. I'll take a look at that schedule. We'll look and see what we got on the 19th. We got to have an extra Saturday there. We might do a, well, let's see if I have one ready in time. A radio, TV, and movie classic show. If we have one ready in time, and the crooners. We got that coming up. So let's see what happens up in August. I'll let you know what all the schedule. So you never know when GJRB is on the air, and you never know when we're going to have new programming on the air. So just keep it here on GJRB Online on Spreaker for all programming downs. I'll give you those schedules, and they're all tentative, which means we're not. That it's unsure if they're going to be on the air. Might be on the air. But tentative just means the possibility that program schedules could be changed from the last time I announce it. So be aware of that, okay? All right, you're listening to the Gary J Sports Page on GJRB Online on Spreaker across America. I'm glad you could be spending your time with me today, and we can talk sports. Always have a great time talking sports with you folks. All right, tell you what we're going to do right now. I'm going to continue talking about the NFL. And we got a lot of things going on. We'll have another score update coming up in about a half hour. Okay? So to let you know what's going on in the scores and give you a quick rundown on, really what's going on in the world of sports and scores here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. Glad you could be with me today, and it's a Saturday afternoon, and it's always a great day to do sports because for some reason Saturday always represented sports on TV, didn't it? Never anything else on TV on Saturdays but sports and cartoons. Wasn't it always the truth? Really. Saturdays were always either sports or cartoons. The soap operas took the break for the weekend, and the game shows took a break for the weekend. There were some that played game shows. Usually it was like, what was that? In Pittsburgh, you ever had that where the kids played a quiz show? There was a quiz show where the kids were on. Usually middle school kids would go on TV to play a quiz show. It was called Junior High Quiz in Pittsburgh. And if you had a quiz show, they did collegiate too. They would have trivia questions, various things, and I don't think there were prizes, more or less, but I think it was just kind of a neat little thing. But anyway, welcome back to Sports Page on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. I'm Gary J. Russ, and I hope you're enjoying the program, and I hope you're tuning in and really having a great time talking sports with me here on a Saturday afternoon. Here on GJRB Online, and you can be part of the action. If you want to be part of the show, just give me a call. We'd love to hear from you here on Sports Page on GJRB. We'll have our weather on the fives coming up here in about a few seconds, and we'll kind of take a look at some temperatures and weather in your neck of the woods in this half hour here on GJRB Online. Remember, weather on the fives, 25 and 55 minutes past the hour on all talk shows on GJRB Online. All right, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. I'm going to go back to the story I was going to do, and that was talk about some of the NFL training camps. And the Steelers reported the training camp in, they were the first ones, I know, to be reported to be arriving at a training camp. The Steelers reported, and here's some of the other teams that just reported the training camp. Baltimore Ravens reported. He's reported on July 19th.
Have the longest Super Bowl drought.
The rookies reported on July 19th, and the veterans arrived on Wednesday. A lot of the veterans arrived on Wednesday and Thursday. The rookies are already there. They usually come first. Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals. Buffalo Bills are in John Fisher College. Cincinnati Bengals at the Paul Brown Stadium. Cleveland Browns are reported at their training facility in Berea, Ohio. I know where that is. Denver Broncos, they're in Inglewood, Colorado at the UC Health Training Center. Houston Texans are in Greenbrier. That's at White Sulphur Springs. And that is in West Virginia. Really? Texans report in West Virginia. I wonder why. Anyhow, Indianapolis Colts. Maybe it's Wyoming. No. West Virginia. Oh, let me take a look at that later. Indianapolis Colts. Indiana Farm Bureau Football Center. Indianapolis, Indiana. Jacksonville Jaguars report at the Florida Blue Health and Wellness Practice Fields. I like that. Great name. Jacksonville. That's in Jacksonville, Florida. Kansas City Chiefs report at the Missouri Western State University at St. Joseph. Chargers report at the Jack Hammett Sports Complex, and they're all, I think, pretty much practicing today. They're all scrimmaging today. Miami Dolphins Baptist Health Training Facility. New England Patriots are at the Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. New York Mets are at the Atlantic Health Jets Training Center in Florham, New York. Oakland Raiders at the Napa Valley Marriott Cape Napa, Florida, Napa, California. They're at the Napa Valley Marriott. So they train at a hotel. Boy, is that special. Okay, we already know about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They do it at St. Vincent College in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, the home of golfer Arnold Palmer. Tennessee Titans at the St. Thomas Parks Sports Park in Nashville, Tennessee. We'll take a look at the NFC coming up here on Sports Page. So we'll continue with that, okay? And I think it's kind of fun to do that and let you know exactly where they report at because, really, it's nice to know where your football players are practicing because more than likely there'll be reports from there as we continue Sports Page here on GJRB Online. Next time we get together for Sports Page, they'll probably be doing some spring training. What is it with me and spring training? They'll be reporting at the, and we'll kind of get that. We'll start broadcasting a lot. We'll talk a lot about it. And I don't know. I'll let you know when they usually do preseason games, usually about mid-August. You start seeing scheduled games on around August 16th. Usually around August 16th, you start seeing games being scheduled for preseason. So I will keep in touch with you on that one, okay? And we'll talk sports there. And let you know exactly when the teams play and the Bears play. Well, when that happens. I don't know. I was talking about Cutler. I guess they got rid of Cutler. I think maybe the Bears might have a little reprieve. Cutler, I don't know what happened to him, but he's not as good as he used to be. I don't know. I'm hoping maybe that he'll go. He's good as a coach, but I think that his days are numbered in playing football. Really, as far as that's concerned. Okay, and no. Anyhow, we're going to do that and a lot more, so I hope you'll stay with me. Gary J Sports Page on GJRB Online. I hope you're enjoying the program, and I hope you're listening wherever you are in America on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. So, glad you could be aboard with me today. As we talk sports, if you got a lot going on, want to talk about sports with me, would like to have you aboard. Area code 563-613-4260 on the Spreaker cell, GJRB studio cell phone, or on the Spreaker chat room. And no one ever calls me on Skype, so I don't really use it that much anymore. Because no one really ever contacts me on Skype. So no one's live to talk to me on Skype. I've tried Skype with Rachel Ozzy Jarvis, and it was getting stuck. So we kind of went to being friends on Facebook and doing it through the Facebook Messenger. Speaking of which, coming up, we're going to do I'm going to do a scroll through social media coming up in this next half hour. Okay, coming up, scroll through social media. We'll do Facebook and do that. And a whole lot more coming up on Gary J Sports Page here on GJRB Online Saturday afternoon show. And the next time we do Sports Page probably will not be until we get to about mid-August. I'm looking at August 19th or the 26th. I think we're going to go with the 26th. But if I don't have a radio, TV, and movie classics put together by the 19th, by August 19th, we will do Sports Page that day, and we'll move that radio and TV movie classics to the end of the month, or we'll move it to September. Either way, I will be working on that one. As a matter of fact, I might move it to September, because if I'm looking straight at my calendar, I think September starts on a Friday. So we might have an extra week there. All right, tell you what we're going to do right now, though. We're overdue for sports weather on the 5s, so we're going to do that real quick right now. Weather on the 5s here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker across America. And let's do that right now. And take a look at what's going on in your neck of the woods. Let's take a look at Lake Tahoe, California right now and see what your weather is. You're currently 76 degrees. That's where we're at right now here in Clinton. 76 degrees, so you're the same temperature we are right now in Lake Tahoe. How about that? Oh, actually it went up. 77 now in Lake Tahoe. 77. Your winds are out of the north-northeast at 6 miles per hour. Your relative humidity at 27%. Dew point 40 degrees with a barometric pressure at 29.98 inches and dropping. And let's see. Sunny today for you guys. High 81 degrees, 10% chance of precipitation. Tonight, 46 degrees, 10% chance of precipitation. Partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, no chance of rain at all. Mostly sunny. Good day for you guys in Lake Tahoe. 85 for a predicted high. Sunday night, 49 degrees, 0% chance of precip. And then we got a 20% chance of rain for Monday for you guys in Lake Tahoe at the high of 88 degrees. Wow, it gets that warm up in Lake Tahoe like it does when it snows. Imagine what it's like when but I've been up there, and it's really kind of pleasant. It really doesn't get all that hot up there. I've been up there, and of course I've been up there in the fall, so more than likely I guess it would mean a little different, but it's a great place to go on vacation. It really is. Lake Tahoe is incredible. Gotta go there sometime. All right, I'll tell you what we'll do right now. We'll do we'll do some more temperatures in the next half hour, and we'll give you another weather roundup on weather on the 5s. Weather on the 5s at 25 and 55 minutes past the hour on all GJRB Spreaker talk shows. All right. Gary Wrestling Program coming up on Tuesday. I'll be talking about a preview on that coming up later on in the show today. And then coming up after this break, we're going to do a 45 minutes of non-stop talk. That's right, 45 minutes of non-stop talk. You're going to check that out. We got a lot of stuff to talk about too. So it's going to be a great stuff. More sports talk and a whole lot more. So stay with me for that. That's coming up next here on GJRB. All right. Okay, so let's get that rolling here and do another sports page update here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. All right. Sports page update right now. Let's see where we got it here. Where is that sports page update opening? I never can find it when I'm looking for it, right? And when I need it, it's not. Oh, here we go. A GJRB Sports Page Update starts now. And talking about Major League Baseball plans to start the 2019-2020 season in Asia and then play regular season games in England for those 2 years. Collective bargaining agreement reached in November is finalized and sent to the clubs on Friday. A recent comment, people are not happy with Colin Kaepernick being signed with the Baltimore Ravens. And Marcus Ware, Shane Ray is out with an injury. We'll have that in other sports coming up on Gary J Sports Page. This has been a GJRB Sports Page Update.